I think it was when I first lost my first teeth was in my late 20s, early 30s, well, probably mid 20s. Started losing them. Was in an accident when I was probably around 14. I just got my braces off, so I broke my jaw. So I had to have orthodontics for the second time, and a lot of stuff, going on in high school and whatnot, kind of led to an eating disorder, which I think didn't help the whole orthodontic thing anyway. So that led into college, and then just the decay, the history with the eating disorder, I think led to the teeth starting to fall out, not being able to be restored one by one. They eventually were having to do root canals on them, having to replace them, and then finally got to a point where they just decided that they didn't think there was anything else that they could do. You'd have to go to a full set of dentures. So that was probably in my 30s that they ended up just pulling the rest of them and giving me the dentures. I think, what started the eating disorder in the first place was just low self-esteem, not a whole lot of confidence. Going into high school, kids typically have that. And then, trying to work through that, and then going to college was a big adjustment. And then having the eating disorder, and then losing the teeth just kind of topped it all off. Things seemed to get worse. I got to a point where I, didn't want to try anymore. I didn't care. I figured, who's gonna love me like this? I kind of thought I didn't deserve anything at that point. When I went to my dentist to see, what I could do, he referred me to a prosthodontist at the University of Iowa. So we did some implants, and then when we were looking to do implants on the top, we kind of realized there wasn't enough bone there. One of our options would be to go and get a hip graft, which would be a lengthy hospital stay, a lot of money, a long recovery. So he did research, and he found Dr. Balshi out in Philadelphia, who does these very often, who was very experienced, so we were real comfortable. Someone who was going to do this knew, what they were doing, had the expertise to go forward. Okay. I remember being at work one day and getting a call from Dr. Williamson, and he was all excited about a procedure that Dr. Balshi did, and he thought it sounded very helpful, and we should give it a try. Kind of explained to me how it wouldn't be real practical for me to go out there for all the preparation work to get the surgery done, how they worked together, and they would do all the prep work here at the University of Iowa, and then when it's time for surgery, we'd fly out, have the surgery there, and then come back and we'd do all the follow-up here with Dr. Williamson. From, right, he walked in the door, he gave me a hug, made me feel really at ease, super nice guy. I think it was kind of a somewhat gradual process, as I kept getting better, working towards a final prosthesis. Felt better myself, I was going to be more normal, no one would be able to tell. I remember the day after I got it, I was just elated. I feel like feels really normal, it's like I almost forget that I even have the denture. I know I smile a lot more, I'm not real, I don't get up in front of people a lot. I never did before, and now I'm getting up in front of people more. I'm not worried about, the way I look. I just feel better, more confidence, that self-worth is there. My daughter says, she goes, "Mom, I like how the way you're always smiling now." And she goes, "And you always look at yourself in the mirror." She goes, "I like that, and I hear people tell me, they have a pretty smile, and that makes me feel good about myself, knowing that, it's all worthwhile, that, no one really has to know but me, and that it looks natural, and, it looks good."